everyone, and welcome to another Live with Make-A-Wish Alaska and Washington. I'm Michelle, and today we're honoring our long-standing partnership with McCurley Integrity Dealerships. While we have lots of very valued partners and sponsors throughout our whole territory, they have been with us for over a decade, supporting us from the other side of the mountains in eastern and central Washington. Today, from there, I have with me Matt Price. He's the event manager for Corvettes on the Columbia and a long-standing employee of McCurley Integrity Dealerships. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for having me. It's important.
Thank you. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the history. I know that you've been here from the very beginning of our partnership with McCurley and Make-A-Wish. Tell us how did it all get started?
Well, I'd love to say we stumbled into a partnership, but it was a very, very hot day 12 years ago. We decided to take our relationship with Corvette, the dealership in Corvette, to another level. And Bill McCurley at the time had come to me and asked me what I'd like to do. And I said, well, the first thing I'd like to do is invite some of the local clubs in the area and see if anybody would like to put on a little car show in front of the dealership. And we picked Boat Race Weekend, which down here in Tri-Cities, we're kind of famous for the hydroplane races. We picked that weekend. And it's funny, we served hot dogs and snow cones is all we did. We had 46 cars show up. And we decided early when we were organizing it, which is really pretty easy to organize when all you're serving is hot dogs and snow cones, but let's do a little fundraiser here and let's do something with it. And I think what I've always admired about Bill McCurley is something I do for myself, he has a real fondness for doing what we can to help children. And we just simply reached out to Make-A-Wish and said, can you get a representative down here? And at the end of the day, we had no idea what it was going to generate, but we'd like to hand you something. And, lo and behold, on a Saturday at 102 degrees on black asphalt with 40 some cars out there, we handed over a check for $4,600.
Wow.
And it was kind of fun. It was awfully hot that day. But I can still remember Bill standing there with these 40 Corvettes, privately owned from people, and just having a wonderful day. And he looked at me and said, I think we're on to something here. He says, why don't you run with this and see what you can do with it? And I must admit, I never imagined a decade later we would have raised the kind of money that we raise. And our show brings in cars from 6 states in Canada.
Wow.
To the cities. It's the second largest Corvette show on the West Coast now. The best part about it, though, truly for me, is everyone knows they're coming for the show. They're coming for fellowship and friendship, but they know why they're coming. Mm-hmm. We've wrapped our arms around a cause. And so the 48 hours of this event is about the cause of granting as many wishes as possible. And that's what it's about.
Well, we're so glad all these things came together and that you're still such a valued partner. I know that you're the events manager for Corvettes on the Columbia, and if I understand correctly, that's coming up soon, right?
Yes, it is. It's always been the first weekend in June, every year. To be safe and to be wise and conscientious of everyone's health and whatnot, we've moved it all the way into September. So the weekend of September 10 and September 11, that will be our next event. And so we're working hard. I tell everyone it takes 10 months to put it together and we blow it up in 48 hours. But we've got 2 months to roll, and in September we'll be here. We are tying it in. It was the only weekend we had available to both secure the park and to secure the host hotels was September 11 weekend.
Okay.
For memorable moments, it is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and so tie that in as well and have a special time on that Saturday for everyone. Time of reflection.
Yeah, well, that's great. And there's another event that you guys also work on, the Wheels Make Wishes Come True. And how long have you guys been participating with that?
That would be since year 2. That would go back about a decade. And I have to give the management here at the dealership that came up with that idea is if we're going to let this thing grow, it'd be nice. I work with a team when it comes to charity that doesn't believe in going backwards. So if we hit a goal one year, we better beat it the next. And the idea was, why don't we run an event at all of our franchises, and we have 6 franchises, where with every vehicle sold, we take a portion of that sale and we put it in the kitty and let that pot grow, and then we add that to the big check given Saturday night on the grand night of the grand closing of the event. And it was Craig and Bill came up with the idea of wheels make wishes come true, and so we decorate our dealerships. The media is talking about it, and now after 10 years, customers know that's a great time to buy because they're making things happen, and their names get to go on placards. And then at the hotel, those placards are everywhere of all the customers that made purchases and how that donation added to that check.
Speaking of checks, you guys have done this multiple times already, and I know over the years of your partnership, McCurley Dealerships, they have raised over $750,000. That is amazing, first of all. And do you guys set your goals specific every year? And if so, what is your goal for this year?
Well, it's interesting. I can still recall the first time. I think the second check was like $28,000. The third year was $46,000. But I can still remember the first time we dropped the sheet off the check, and everyone in the ballroom saw a 6-digit figure, and it just keeps getting bigger. No specific goal every year. We just know we don't want to go backwards. There are children waiting, so we just want to do what we can.